Well, everybody, it's your boy Senpai JD. That's what I'm going to call myself now when I do anime vids. But it's really your boy JR Reviews back, JR Incorporated, back into bringing you another anime review. So today I'm reviewing the world God Only Knows. And that is an anime about a guy named Kayumi Katsuragi, I think it is. And he is I wouldn't call him a shut-in NEET, but I don't know what I would call him. He's an eccentric person, let's put it that way. He prefers to spend most of his time playing dating sims. He is so good at dating sims that he's actually known as the God of Conquest online. And a lot of people go to him for advice. Oh, have you played this game? Have you played that game? In one season, an actual company's like, yo, we want to make another dating sim game. Tell us what you would like in it, and we'll make it to exactly your specifications. God of Conquest, we want to know your input. All this, literally, he's like that good. So one day, he turns out that a demon from hell named Elsie, which is now it's called New Hell because Old Hell was like the hell we basically have in our society, where where people get tortured and all that. And there was a whole uprising, a war, and now there's New Hell, where at a point where the demons and the souls of the demons that fought the war have now escaped out of New Hell and are finding targets and people who have emptiness in their hearts, like who desire love or feel like a strong emotion of like regret, stuff like that. And now they're taking form. What they're basically doing is they're feeding on their negative energy until the point where they're strong enough and they're going to basically come out and be reborn into a physical body. Elsie is now teamed up with Katsuragi. He's supposed to basically he treats every new encounter like a dating sim thing. He basically different levels of dating, like a different level, like he has to basically gain their trust and like make them fall in love with him, and then in the end he kisses them, and that releases the evil spirit, where then Elsie will encounter the evil spirit, and every time she captures an evil spirit, she always says, after she's captured in like a jar, she will put a finger sign up like this and says, "Evil spirit in custody." So they're like the polices of the underworld. Anyways, the first season, he ends up having, I think, 6 or 7 conquests he has to deal with, and that is the girl that runs on the track, Chihiro. Is it Chihiro or Ayumi? It's Ayumi, sorry. Ayumi. One of the new students, who is a freaking idol, which is basically like just saying a pop star, in a way. Basically, she's a famous singer. Kanan or whatever her name is, who really loved. Firstly, started everything because he just wouldn't pay attention to her and said her music sucked and he didn't like it. And then finally, there's another girl who is very rich, but was really rich. But what happened was her dad died, and since I don't know exactly what happened there, but it was like, I guess she lost all claim to her dad's company, and now she has to live like a commoner, and that was also messing her up. So she kisses him, or that was another one of Congress. Another Congress that I kind of enjoyed was one that was a girl who really loved books, but she does not talk to anyone. She's very, very, I would say she's extremely shy. That's the best word I could describe. She's extremely shy. She won't talk to anyone. And actually, how Katsuragi ends up interacting with her is by drawing in books and trying to get her to confront him. And finally, she ends up talking to him, like one scene where she's like, "Oh, you can't draw in books. Books are not really drawing." And he's like, "That's my book from home." And it was a funny scene. Elsie is cute as hell. She is right after I think the second episode after she first captures the first spirit. The way she ends up gaining entry into our living quarters in Katsuragi's house is pretty cute, and it's really a really funny scene as in title. Is that she is brought in and Katsuragi's mother is taking care of her and giving her something to eat. They're all eating. Presumably it would be like a snack or breakfast. I don't know exactly remember what it was. I think it was a snack. And she's like, well, how do you know Katsuragi and all that? And she's like, oh, well, I'm actually your half daughter, or your no, I am your husband's illegitimate daughter. And she's like, and then all of a sudden you just hear a snap, some crash to the ground, and Katsuragi is still playing his days, and now you've done it. He's like, he just says, now you've done it. I think he says that, so he's like, oh fuck, you just started it. So she calls up her, he calls up the mom, Mai Katsuragi, I think her name is, calls up her dad, or her husband, and literally just gives him a fucking mouthful. Oh, you cheating 2 times, motherfucker, like you have an illegitimate daughter anyway, what the hell, don't even bother coming home, don't even bother coming home, don't even bother, just like, don't even bother. And then clicks up the phone, and then you're told that his mom used to be in a biker gang. So, yeah, you don't fuck with this lady. Another one of his conquests, I think in that season, that was actually the main conquests. Yeah, those are the main conquests. Kanon, the Ayumi, the girl with the blonde hair girl, and Shiro. Yeah, that's the main conquest. So in season 2, he has another conquest, and these conquests are a teacher, technically, if I had to say so, his conquest is a demon girl, but is Hakuwa, who's basically supposed to be the head of a secret region of the what are basically what their job, what Elsie's job is. I forgot what they're called. I think they're called like searchers or something like that. They're like police that find the dead souls and the souls and then capture them. She's like one of the heads. And then she fails to collect any of them, which is funny because Elsie is supposed to be was the failure of the academy that they went to, and she was the prodigy. And when they first meet each other, she asks Elsie, how many have you caught? And she's like, oh, I've caught 6. And meanwhile, Hakuwa, which is the girl in question, has never caught anything. Actually, there is one on the loose, and that's because she was trying to catch it and failed. And she doesn't even have she doesn't even have a partner to help her. So, actually, Katsuragi even says at one point that, I'll be your partner if you stop being, rude and, annoying. Also, one of my favorite scenes is the ending of season 1 where he's literally sitting in his room and it shows, he's like, I haven't been able to play video games in a long time. And he's basically showing Elsie, he goes fetch to go get him from lunch, right? And she walks into his room and he's sitting there with a fucking laptop, 8 screens, 5 different console controllers, which would be presumably an Xbox, a PlayStation, a Game Boy controller, a Wii, or a DS controller, a Wii, a PSP, and he's just does that, and then immediately just starts lighting the fucking thing up. I'm like, damn. Anyways, his whole spiel in the entire series is he thinks that 2D girls, or the video game girls, are better than real life girls because they have no real flaws. And the fact that he thinks regular girls in real life are really annoying, and I never expected for him to fall in love in the series, which, to be fair, I'm happy he did. There we go. Sorry, that was bugging me. Happy he did, but grand damn. I mean, like damn. I felt bad for him because the girl he ends up falling in love with is in season 2, and she is also a classmate of his, actually in his class. Her name is Chihiro, and she also had a spirit in her. The thing about this is that after this conquest is over, they'll have the people he conquests has no memory of them conquesting him. That changes in season 3 when goddesses, which are basically like, I guess they were the good guy equivalent of the devils, take over the bodies of certain conquest members that he is people that he conquests, which now they regained everything back from their previous conquest, including one conquest who is in the OVA, and that is the conquest, or two conquests that are in the OVA, I believe. Because at one point later on, after Chihiro gets her conquest over, she starts a band with Elsie, Ayumi, another girl who ends up being in that, probably in that the episode, and another girl, which her name was, it's a friend of Chihiro's, and Ayumi, I forgot her name. And anyways, the goddesses basically grant everyone who was a conquest the memories of the conquest back. Like, they've regained all memories of it. So they've kind of fallen in love with him, except that Chihiro doesn't have a goddess inside her. She's just fallen in love with Katsuragi on her own. Even though like she's retained like maybe the feelings that she had during the conquest, and maybe like muscle memory of him kissing her. And then there's the whole scene where she's basically asking him, you know, you should, you know, he basically asks, he says, yo, I love you, can we go out? And he's like, yeah, no, and he's like really rude to her. And in the end of the entire season, third season, it's them singing at the cultural festival, her and her band, and he's crying on the roof because I guess he really did love her. But I'm confused as fuck because at the same time, the Ayumi is the last person he had to find who had the goddess inside her. And he ends up supposedly saying, I'll marry you, which I was confused as fuck because they leave out too much in the series at the end. Like, is he really married? Is he actually married? Or it's like just the spiel that happened to get the shit where it needed to be? Or like what's gonna happen? Like, I'm fucking confused because there's many people who want to be with him in this point in time. Not just, well, Chihiro probably doesn't want to be with him, but I could see probably if he would have like called and told her, yeah, I do love you, I think that it could change. But like if fucking Ayumi, I don't know if Ayumi, because she is the one who proposed the marriage thing with even the marriage thing was like fucking weird as fuck. I was so confused with that. Like I was like, huh? And then there's the rich girl the other rich girl, who is in the band with them, who takes the form of a kind of more of a guy, which in one of the scenes when we has to reconquest her, I forgot if she has a goddess inside of her. She is he has to dress up as a fucking girl, which was the most hilarious scene I've ever seen because I'm not gonna lie, a guy who plays Noah Danielson's makes a pretty convincing damsel in distress / girl. I just never thought he would fall in love because, I mean, he didn't seem like the person because he thought all real girls were fucking like pointless and they were all rude and mean and like, I'm confused. I was so confused with that story arc at that end, towards the end of the series or the end of the anime. But one of the things I like about Elsie was Elsie's titles for Katsuragi are very cute. The Divine One and Divine Brother, which at the same time I'm confused. Like, why would you call him that? Like, I wanted Katsuragi to say so badly, you can just call me Katsuragi. Like, you don't have to call me Divine Brother or Divine One. There's nothing divine about him. Like, the only thing he's good at is conquesting in video games. That's not something to be divine about. I mean, granted, it's a really cool and really cool scene to behold, but like, even then, it's kind of a pitiful scene because like, you're like, dude, how much time have you wasted in your life just to play video games to learn that, like, to learn how to do that? And then there's Hakuwa, who basically treats him like a piece of shit, which I can understand why at some points. And then some of them are like, well, you're being a little too much of a bitch, Hakuwa. And then, really, then there's just the conquests. And for this anime, the conquest, there was never an ugly conquester. The one that got me the hardest was to deal with was a teacher student, which means she's a student teacher that's trying to become a full-fledged teacher. And that's the conquest that she had to deal with. He had to deal with in season 2. And it really was a very weird one because it's the only time in this anime that he didn't directly get kissed by the conquest, or that he didn't directly kiss the conquest. He didn't initiate the kiss. The conquest initiated the kiss at the very end of this episode, or the episodes of her arc, where she's leaving the school after she got her like she had to do like a sub program where she kind of subbed a classes for a few days, and she's like, oh yeah, thank you, but when I come back, I'm gonna be your teacher, so I can't do this. And then kisses him, and then the evil spirit comes out of her, and she captures it, and then does that, spirit in custody thing. Hope you all enjoyed this video. It was really hard to it was really hard anime to understand. I mean, I liked the anime; it was really good, but it was confusing on the fact that Katsuragi just don't peg him to fall in love. And in the end, he ended up falling in love. He fell in love hard. Like, to fall in love and start crying over it, that's hard love. And if that was the case, I didn't know why he just didn't come on and say, yeah, let's go out and date. Like, what? Bro, but you have to, tell her, also, if he would have told these people, at the end of the story, when there's all problem with Ayumi, when she won't, listen to him, figure out, she hates him for some reason, if he would just tell her the fucking truth, listen, I need to fucking, conquest you. If I don't, the world will end. The world's gonna end, and I need to do this. Granted, it's a little fucking crazy, but, it's urgency. I think she would understand that at that point. I mean, maybe she'll think he's crazy, but still. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
ほう、向かってくるのか。逃げずにこのディオに近づいてくるのか。近づかなきゃてめえをぶちのめせないんだな。ほうほう。では十分近づくがよい。Let me show you how to scratch it.